Welcome back to day 2 of the week. Terrific Terry Tuesday at Parx. Solid Monday. I feel like some good things happened. Maybe some not so good things happened. Definitely saw a lot of the SmartSheets data play out in the races. So hopefully we can see that continue today. Every day we continue with free picks over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet Fairmont Park right here in Illinois. One of 2 tracks left down by Edwardsville, closer to St. Louis, I think, than Chicago. But nonetheless, racing in Illinois for now. Some free picks there, starting off with the maiden claiming race. The best of quality, I am certain. You can see here 74% of our best bets, though, at the track do finish in the money, of course. And, of course, we hope all of our picks finish in the money at Parx today. Terry, before we get started, always, you can help the show by commenting. If you like a horse in any particular race, you hit a winner yesterday. We had a nice lady named Stacy in the comments over on our YouTube yesterday mentioned she hit a trifecta. Stacy, if you're watching, congratulations. If so, say hi. No matter where you are in the world, let us know where you are. If there's any suggestions you have that you think would make the show better, kindly share them with us. And you see down there below all of our social sites scrolling by. Make sure you hit them all. Our goal is to get to 10,000 people here on YouTube and on X by the end of 2025. It's a big ask, but with your help, it can happen for sure. Let's go to race number 1, Terry, today at Parx. First up on our docket, what's it all about?
All right, well, it's going to start out at 6.5 furlongs. It's a claiming race, $12,500 claiming price, first $23,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
Yes, and understanding the profile of a winner, how horses get to the winner's circle, I think is an important part of the race, at least in your handicapping. And here at 6.5 furlongs, early speed tends to be the best way to find the winner's circle. 34% of the time, the horse on the lead keeps the lead straight into the winner's circle. Inside post positions are better than outside. We like to talk about speed, Terry, in this race. Number 1, getting started. Who has the most early giddy up and go?
Well, there's 2 horses there with similar speed, the 2 and the 5, so they could come out of there and go head-to-head to that quarter pole.
Yes, indeed. It does look like the 2 has about a 1 length early speed advantage. It's to the inside of the 5, so it probably has a pretty good shot. Speaking of good shots, Terry, these yes horses indicate horses that have a good shot to hit or exceed par. Looks like we have a few of them in here and the few who might do it again.
Yeah, we have the 1, 4, 5, and 8 who in the past have equaled or exceeded the speed par number. And then we have the rest of them, which is the 3, 6, and 7 have maybes. That means they came within 5 points of doing that.
Yes, indeed. Speaking of points, we like to have value. Everybody wants to buy something on sale. Looks like there's a few horses in here that might be on sale today.
Yeah, that 2 shows a really nice overlay of 5 to 1 to 12 to 1, and then that 7 has an overlay from 4 to 1 to 10 to 1.
Speaking of that 7, also a pretty strong in-race advantage. Late speed edge of 5 points. Every 5 points equals about 1 length. Keep that in mind. We see here, too, that the 1 horse, Pontiac, a 5-point last race speed figure. It's the top of our total pace horses, along with the 4, 7, and 8. A lot of winners in this group yesterday, Terry. I expect a lot of winners in this group again today. That's how it always plays. Who are your winners?
All right. Well, in this race here, I'm starting out with 28 to 3. It's number 4, and he ran second versus similar in his last race. Best dirt speed as fastest among today's starters. Yeah, he switches to the high percentage winning jockey, Paco Lopez. And then I like the 8 as my second choice. His best start speed is fastest among than the average winning speed, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. Pontiac, the 1 is my third choice. 1 is last race at Parx Racing that has a high percentage winning trainer. And then the 6, my long shot, ran second in his last race and can handle today's distance. No additional bets for me in this race.
I'm going to start with the Pontiac, that horse with the top last race speed figure, 5 points better than everybody else. If we look here, not only that, but the horse had better pace from beginning to end, better fractions, the only horse in the field that can make such a claim there, Terry, and that rail is very strong. Number 4, 28 to 3, mentioning the Patriots and the Falcons. I'm sure all the people in Georgia love to hear that over and over. This guy has, Paco, as you mentioned, a Z pattern. So if you look at a Z pattern real quick, Z pattern is when the early pace number is up and then a little bit of a dip, and then they get a second wind. That is your Z pattern, folks. And it has the most upside as we look at our charts here. Speed charts, you see the 4-horse, the peak horse in the race. Also a pretty strong C-zone on that 4-horse as well. And then the 8-horse Patriarchal, you have Michael Sanchez. That guy can run back to its March 24th race. That's all it will need. Finally, Liberty Runner. The 7-horse does have that 1 length late speed advantage, having that strong in-race advantage with closers doing all right lately at Parx. Figured I'd put him in there. I have $20 at work in the first race. I'm going to go a $5 double, 1 over the 3, 4, 5, and 6 because we have a $100 budget. We have 3 minutes to race number 2, race number 1, Terry. So we got to get race number 2 done right now.
All right. So in race 2, we're going to start out at 1 mile and 70 yards, claiming $5,000 claiming price, purse $18,000 for fillies and mares 4-year-olds and upward, which have not won 2 races since November 6th.
So at 1 mile and 70 yards, your profile of a winner is early speed, a bunch. Jerome Bettis, 36% wire to wire. Inside is better than outside. Terry, once again, let's focus on some speed, particularly if it's on the inside.
Yeah, the one that has the most speed is that 4, as you can see. But the 3 may have something to say about it too. So
the 4 has about a 1.5 length early length advantage according to our pace numbers. We see the 5-horse with a 4-point last race speed figure, Terry. A trio of horses that can hit par, but it looks like all of them have some chance.
Yeah, that's true. The 2, 3, and 4 all have in the past equaled or exceeded the speed par number, but the rest of them, 5, 6, and 7, have come within 5 points of doing that. So.
Yeah, we have 1 class dropper in the field. We talked about briefly C-zone in the last race. The 4-horse is the top C-zone horse here, and what we do is we take our projected pace, compare it to the horse's best performances, see how likely today's races will match their best performances. These horses that have a good shot to get to the lead, folks, and high C-zones, they're high probability winners. Terry, who is your winner?
Well, I like in this race the 3, Liam's Kiss, likes Parx Racing. He's been in the money 80% of the time at this track and won 20% of those starts. At today's distance, it finished in the money at 91% of the time and wins 36% of those starts. And then I like number 6, Fast Mule. She finished 3rd versus similar in her last race at Parx Racing, and she has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 22% of the claiming races. He has a horse running then. Obstinate, the 4, is my 3rd choice. He likes Parx Racing as well. Been in the money 51% of the time, winning 16% of the starts. And the distance won't be a problem, as he's been in the money 64% of the time, winning 23% of the starts. And then the 5, Dorothy's the Boss, is my long shot. Ran 2nd in her last 2 starts at Parx Racing, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I'm going to play the very first Miami Vice Don Johnson pick 4, 3, 4, 5, 6 with the 1, 2, 3 with the 3, 6. Finish up with a 2, 4, 5, 6, $48 ticket.
I got Liam's Kiss. Proper distance, as my good friend Ben from Wales might say. 11 races, 4 wins, 6 seconds, but does need to rebound in this spot today. Fast Mule, I don't know if there's such a thing, but there's probably a faster mule if Paco is riding. The last race was a little better than it looks, a little bit quicker fractions, and you'll see that the pace numbers were pretty solid there across the board. So he picked up and showed some improvement. Dorothy's the Boss. That one has a 4-point last race speed figure advantage. Also ran a little better fractions. And then that 4-horse should be the pace setter. Top C-zone. Seeing too many of those go wire to wire to ignore. 3, 4, 5, 6 over the 2, 3, 4 over the 1, 3, 5, 6. And then the 4, 5 is my $48 pick 4. Looks like race 1 is about to get underway here, Terry, if we're looking for some value. In the first race, it looks like the 1-horse, Pontiac, could be a little bit of a value. We have, the 3-horse should be the 3. What? It's just not the right race. So that explains it, Terry. All right. The 1-horse at 6-1 currently looks like a little overlay from 4 to 5. And then everybody else looks about fair in there. Maybe the 7-horse. 7-horse is your biggest overlay, Liberty Runner at 27-1 versus 4-1. maybe a nice 1-7 exacta box for $2. And if it came home, it would make your day. They are off in the running. You got about 5 or 6 horses trying to take the lead in there. Looks like the 2 horse and the 5 horse, as our projections predicted, are right there. And then the 8, and then the 1 and the 4. So I don't know how much more accurate one can be than that, Terry.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yes, and then there's a pretty big gap off to the rest of the horses there. 22.5 seconds with that 5 horse, I think, on the lead right now at 30-1.
Wow.
Mr. Terry. And everybody else kind of bunching up in there. It looks like the 4 horse of the front runners tailing off a little bit. And then they're around the bend they go. Nobody really making a strong move here. My 1 horse not firing yet, so he's going to have to fire at some point, or my double's done. But I think his day is done, unless he finds his legs here. I don't know. It doesn't look like it. Jockey's kind of standing up on him, so I think he's called it a day. Looks like the 8 horse is going to run away and win, Terry. Then it's going to be the 4 horse, and then after the 4 horse, it's going to go 8. And then 4, and I think the 1 might rallying in for third there. Yeah, 8-4, and then 1. Big win for the 8. 8, 4, 1, and then I think the 5. 8, 4, 1, 5. That should be a pretty nice. There you go, right there again. 8, 4, 1. Top 4. I said that they tend to generate the winners. Not only that, but there is your trifecta, Mr. Terry.
Yeah, I got it. So that's good. So did you?
Yeah, just missed out on having that 1 coming in first. That's all.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the 5 horse, that long shot, making the superfecta. Race number 3 is what we're going to do next. What's happening here?
6 furlongs, claiming race, $5,000 claiming price, purse $18,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won 2 races since November 6th.
So 6 furlongs will again favor speed, although the 8 horse was close to the front. I think he rode shotgun all the way around the track. 31% of the time, again, that number 131 out of Philadelphia has got to be Wilbur Montgomery. Inside horses do better than outside horses, although 8 and out tend to perform better than 4 through 7, Terry. Any standouts in race number 3 when the race gets started?
Well, yeah, that 3 has plenty of speed, as you can see. It has almost double the speed of everybody else, so it should get out of there and get to that quarter pole first.
Yes, indeed. Awesome for sure. Let's translate some comments to English so we know what they're saying. Good afternoon, Angel Daniel Escobar Salazar. This is where the races happen. Yes, indeed. This is where everything happens, my friend. Terry's best bet today will be coming up in race number 8. So make sure you stay tuned so you know who Terry's best bet of the day is. I have a couple in there myself today. As far as some other data to look at, Terry, this looks like anybody can win because they've all hit par so far. And then we have a couple of par plus horses in here that show they may have a better chance than the rest to get above par.
That's right. Actually, the 5 has got a maybe also as far as the past races, but all the horses have some percentages that show that possibly do it today, especially the 2 and the 4.
Yeah, so we do par plus 1,000 simulations where we spit out the projected speed figure. And in 427 of them, Wizard Surratt generated a speed figure of at least 83. So big chance today that Wizard Surratt can hit that score again. Interesting race shape here, Terry. We see that everybody wants to close. Wow. So that 3 horse is going to be a left arrow horse, although it may not like being on the front. Only an 8.49 comfort zone. Looks like the whole field here might find this race uncomfortable because we're typically looking for a score of 50% or more. This could be a jockey trainer race, Terry. Which jockey trainer would you pick?
Well, the 3 looks like the best jockey trainer combination according to the data. So,
well, one little trick for these 5 horse races, according to Stephen Fielder in our show together with him on our Players Edge podcast. You can look it up on our YouTube channel. Just search for Stephen Fielder. He says you take the longest shot in a 5 horse field, according to the odds. That might be the 5 horse in here. Hot pot. Terry, those are the sim odds, but the morning line odds say it was the 4. We'll find out in race 3 what the bettors think. We'll find out right now what you think.
Okay, well, in this race 3, I like, I've got to get to race 3 here. I like the 3, Awesome for Sure. He's won 4 races out of the last 8 starts and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then the 1, Nifty, finished 3rd versus Tougher in his last race. Drops in class today. The rail post winning 23% clip. He has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. And then Wizard Surratt, the 2 is my 3rd choice. Finished 3rd versus similar in his last race. He has the highest last speed rating tie. And he has a trainer who wins 21% of the claiming races he has a horse running in. Number 4 is my long shot, We Ready. He was beaten only 2 lengths versus similar in his last start and has a high percentage winning jockey. That's it. I don't have any bets in this race here.
So I'm going to start with Awesome for Sure, too. Great chance to be the pace setter, a really consistent performer in this field. Then Wizard Surratt, better early pace, and increased his speed figure 3 races in a row. And according to Barry Meadows in his book, The Skeptical Handicapper, 3 consecutive speed figure increases is usually a what I call an alpha angle, wins at in excess of 15%. We Ready, the 4-horse, as I mentioned, the longest shot in a 4-horse race, at least right now. Got to have him. This one did show better pace, better fractions last time out. And then Nifty, the 1-horse, much better early in its last, should be forward, and also has some good late speed to boot. No bets for me either, but I'll bet you we're going to move off to race number 4, and that will be a bet I collect for sure.
Okay, and I need to make a correction. My best bet is in the 9th, and I already changed it. I put it in the 8th by mistake.
All right, well, let's make that adjustment then. Race
I did. I fixed 9.
it. Well, I have to fix it here too, so because I showed people that. Bang, race number 9.
All right.
Stay tuned.
All right, so this 4th race is 6.5 furlongs optional claiming race, $16,000 claiming price if you elect to put your horse in there to possibly be claimed. Purse $26,000 fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for $16,000 or less and which have never won 3 races, or a claiming price of $16,000, which have never won 3 races.
Yeah, and we saw in the opener there, the horses that were in the front pretty much stayed in the front all the way around the track. Even the 5 at 30-1. Was on the lead, faded the 4th, finished in the superfecta, but the 1, the 8, and the others were right there all the way around the track. 34% of the time, usually the one that gets the lead keeps the lead. Inside is better than outside, although the 8-horse was the widest, I think, of the bunch in that opener there. So maybe not that important, but in race number 4, Terry, take it away. It looks like this one's going to be pretty fast when the gates open.
Yeah, it's pretty wide open as far as the speed, although the 3 and the 2 have the most speed, so they could go head-to-head to the quarter pole. So,
yes, the 3 also with a 3-point last race speed figure. Only 1 horse, Terry, so far shows that he is able to hit that par speed figure of 82.
Yeah, that's the only one is the 5, but all of them but the 4 show that they have some data to possibly do it today.
Yeah, and speaking of the 5, nice little overlay there too.
Yeah, the 5 has an overlay of 5-1 to 10-1, and the 2 has an overlay 5-2 to 6-1.
Yeah, a lot of horses last time out showed a ton of improvement. Only the 6 on Paradise Hill paired up fractions and the pace. Got 1 class dropper in here in the 4, Royal Party. Terry, that 3-horse with the top speed figure also has the top trainer jockey combination.
That's right. That 3 does. The 6 actually shows a little bit better trainer, but according to the data, but the 3, in my opinion, is the best combination of trainer and jockey for this race.
Yeah, the 3 might also have a little bit of an advantage here too from a race shape. We take a look at this. The E's are pilots. The EPs can pilot or co-pilot. The P's want a co-pilot. They don't want the lead. They want to pressure. PCs can be really anywhere, right? They can fly coach. They can fly first class. They're kind of like the flight attendants. They can go anywhere on the plane. You got the closers in here with the 2 and the 5, and the 4 are so far not within 5 lengths of the winner at the finish line. If you're looking for the horse with the most upside, Terry, that's the 5, Melody's Kiss. Although the 4-horse has not been within 5 lengths, it is our top season horse. Very confusing, Terry.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, sure is.
When you get a lone E that has a good chance to get to the lead, the top last race speed figure and the top of our top total pace, probably a horse that could be tough to beat, Terry, and we both think that's the case.
Yeah, I like Rock Me Gently, the 3. She finished 2nd versus in her last race as a favorite, but has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 22% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. And she has a high percentage winning jockey. On Paradise Seal, the 6 of my second choice, won 2 races in a row, goes for a hat trick, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 1 is my third choice, won her last race at Parx Racing, and the rail post is winning 20% clip. And then 5 Melody's Kiss likes Parx Racing. She's been in the race money 67% of the time and won 22% of the starts. And then at today's distance, spending the money 100% of the time and won 50% of the starts. Second pick for Miami Vice, Don Johnson. I'm going to use the 1-3-5-6 with the 4-6, with the 5-6-7, with the 1-3-7 and 8, $48 ticket.
Just so you know, today was probably the first time in like a month that I got my picks up before Terry. So he's plagiarizing me today, not the other way around. Ordinarily, he's way ahead of me on these things.
That's only because I lost my internet for about 30 minutes.
You know what I'm hearing? Excuses.
That's right. It is kind of an excuse, I guess.
No excuses, Terry. We're in the performance business, not the excuse business. We'll leave that to everybody else. Rock Me Gently. Yes, indeed. 3-point speed figure advantage in the money, 10 out of 11. Lifetime, all of which were at Parx. In the distance, 3 times out, a win in a couple of seconds. So clearly a horse for the course and doesn't mind the distance either. On Paradise Hill, the 6-horse, highly consistent performer in its last 5 races. Came from Woodbine, kind of sucked in its first Parx race, but since then, figured out the Philadelphia way. Apollonia Vitelli, the 1-horse, better across the board last time out with its pace. And in its last race, just absolutely demolished the field. Again, Barry Meadows, any horse that wins by more, I think he has a 1.5 or 2 lengths. I don't remember specifically, but let's just put it at 2. Any horse that wins by more than 2 lengths, another alpha angle, wins at 15% or more next time out. Put that in your black book of handicapping. And then Melody's Kiss, the 5-horse. The only yes horse in the race, Terry. You have to have the only yes horse in a race, and I had to have it in my pick 4 too. Our pick 4s are pretty much the same. 1, 3, 5, 6. The 4, you have the 6, I have the 5. 5, 6, 7, identical. 1, 3, 4, and 8. So a little bit different on the back end. Both cost $48. Fifth race is the end of the first half of the card at Parx. 10 races to go. 4 down, 6 to go, starting with a maiden claiming 25K.
Yeah, it's a 6.5 furlong race, a maiden claiming race, $25,000 claiming price, purse $26,000, and it's for maidens, 3-year-olds and upward.
I feel like that cartoon character. I can't remember the name. What would we say? Suffering Sabotage or whatever. I don't remember. Do you remember which horse? I don't know. I can't remember something. I don't know. I'll probably remember it as soon as the show ends because that's usually how my brain works.
Yeah.
Another one at 6.5 furlongs. Again, the opener, all the horses that were at the front stayed at the front. They just kind of switched positions up a little bit at the end. So someone who is riding shotgun with a little bit of late legs, but still 34%. There's only 134 in my view. That's Walter Payton, although plenty other greats have worn that one. Inside is better than outside. A lot of times horses win their maiden race, Terry, by getting to the front and staying there. And another race that looks like it can be hot once the gates open.
That's right. And the 2 outside horses have the best or most speed. They could go to the quarter pole together.
One thing to note in here, the 2 horses, the first-time starter, and I find that these sheets are beyond excellent when it comes to whether you should put a first-time starter in or not. And basically the rule I have found is when everybody's a no or a maybe, we got 1 yes in here, so Addison's Dream, meaning it has been able to hit par of 79. But when all those are no's or maybe, you usually want to really highly consider the first-time starter. But this only gets 1.6 out of 3 points. The number we're usually looking for is 2.5 or higher. When they're all no's, maybe you got a little bit more flexibility in there. That's not the case there, Terry. So maybe that horse does it. Maybe it doesn't. Looks like you maybe want to focus on the horses with the most likely trip today to favor them. And who are those?
4, 5 have the most speed C-zone scores. They're actually over 50%, which is what we look at as our minimum. And so we'll see what happens there. The 4 is the highest, actually. So
Yeah, the four should be part of the early mix there. Did run the top last race speed figure, 4 points better than everybody else. The 2 doesn't get a total pace figure because, well, guess what? The 2 hasn't run. Only one class dropper in here. That's the 3 Airman Trevor. Terry, drop your picks on us.
All right. Well, I like in this race, Curious Soul, the 6. Ran second in his last race, has a high percentage winning trainer jockey. Addison Stream, the 4, ran second versus similar in last race. And his best start speed is fast among today's starters. Got a high percentage winning jockey. The 5 is my third choice, ran third in his last race, switches to a high percentage winning trainer, has a high percentage winning jockey, and a good workout on April 30th at 4 furlongs. And then I like that first time starter too, Eerie Vibes. He has Dam, who has 2 winners from 4 starters, and his breeding suits today's distance. And he has a high percentage winning jockey. No additional bets for me here.
Well, I like the 4 horse so much. Addison's Dream. I'm going to put 15 on him to win. Ran the top last race speed figure, 4 points. Only yes horse in the race. Got to have him. Curious Soul. Now, I'm going to go Matsabah Muhammad. That's a pretty interesting name for a horse. Paco Lopez. Last time out, the horse ran faster fractions at 6.5 furlongs than he did at 6. You go longer and faster. That's like Wrigley Spearmint Gum. It's doubly fast. Then Curious Soul, which is the morning line favorite. That one right there could be your pace setter. It does have a decent workout to keep the saw sharp between races. And then I'm going to go Airman Trevor, the 3 horse, only class dropper, little better across the board last time out. And I favored him over the 2 because although it's a first-time starter in a field of no's and a maybe, only one yes, that 1.6 out of 3 kind of concerns me a little bit. Before we move off to the second half of the card today, Terry, there's always something you can do to help the show. What is that?
Well, you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Very easy to do. Doesn't cost anything. And then go ahead and hit that bell so that it notifies you about all the great shows coming up. And then copy the link down below. Share it with everybody you know so they can come and check us out. Go to our social sites such as X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky at Horse Race, the number 2 day. Give us a thumbs up and a like, and keep the comments coming, as we love to see them, and I like to see your picks too. And tell my best bet will come out at the 9th race.
Yes, race number 9, best bet coming up. And then also, when the show is over, you can head on over to horseracingtoday.net. There's a link in the description on YouTube. Over there, right there in the middle of the screen, you'll see Parx Racing picks for May the 6th. Click on that, and when you do so, you'll see there will be a race replay along with all of our comments for the day. So that way we can make it easy for you to come back and find it. Again, we'll timestamp all the races on YouTube in the description. You can come back and watch race number 9 again. Find out all the reasons why Terry made that race his best bet. And to help the show and to help you, HRT Gear, right there, click that button. Come on over to our shop. 2 days left to save 25% off of everything. Get yourself a See You in the Winner Circle. Nobody on the planet can get that, and you can customize it. So if you look pretty in pink like she does, you can change it to pink. If you have baby blues like Terry does, well, maybe you can change it to blue to match your eyes, although I don't really think that's a good color match there. Perhaps the gray might work for you. All right, Terry, let's see if our picks can work for everybody in race number 6.
All right, so in race 6, we're going to go to 6.5 furlongs, a claiming race, $7,500 claiming price, purse $24,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward.
Yes, again, we've got a belly full of 6.5 furlongers. Right now, it's like a refrain in a pop song. You hear it over and over and over again. It is be forward, be on the inside, and you have a good chance to find yourself in the winner's circle. And in this case, somebody on the outside, little Buffalo girl with some speed, Terry.
Yeah, it sure does. She's got 49% of the 49% data there, and he could get out and get to that quarter pole first.
Christopher D'Souza, race number 5, loving the 3 horse with the 5 and the 2 exacta and trifecta box. Usually when Christopher D'Souza throws a grenade to blow up our pick 4s, he's successful.
Yeah, I believe he hit a really nice one last week.
Yeah. he usually does throw grenades right into our picks, and we much appreciate that for sure. That 6-horse, Terry, great chance to get on the lead. Also, our top C-zone horse. Again, those horses that have that combination, big chance to get to the lead. Really favorable pace. It is the lone EP, so he can pilot or co-pilot. So if these two go too fast, can be patient. If you go too slow, can push up in there. Although he's got those advantages, Terry, it doesn't look like it's the best overlay, though.
No, actually, the best overlay would be the 3. It's 7-2 to 12 to 1, and then the 5 has a small overlay from 3-2 to 3 to 1.
So, Private Ross, I'm not joking about your crypto codes. You should know something about me, is that I only joke with the ones I love, and you notice that I never, ever, ever, ever joke with Terry. You see here that all of the horses have hit par, Terry, but it looks like a couple of them have an exceptional chance to cross that barrier again today.
Yeah, that 5 and that 6 have shows that they've got a really good chance to get either equal or exceed the par speed number today.
That 6-horse, Terry, top last race speed figure, 4 points better than everybody else. A more than 1 length total pace advantage in there, Terry. I feel like this one might have made it to your best bets, but I think it's probably it's not at the top of your picks. Aha, somebody else is.
Yeah, actually, in this race, I like the 5, Old Head, over the 6. She ran the second versus similar last race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then the 6, Bright Kahuna. I guess that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, like the big cojones.
Yeah. Well, she likes Parx Racing. She's been on the money 67% of the time, won 33% of the start. At today's distance, she's been on the money 75% of the time and won 50% of the starts. And then the 7, Wait, Don't Tell Me, is my third choice. She won at Parx Racing in her last race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. Boca Royalty, the 1. She ran second in her last race, and the Rail Post winning 20% clip. No additional bets for me here.
I like the 6-horse as my top choice. Bright Kahuna. That one there, Terry, has a top last race speed figure, does have that 4 points, does have that more than 1 length total pace advantage. Lone EP, and in the charts, this horse also has the most upside in the race. I've seen a lot of those horses come home first. Number 5, Old Head, in the money, 7 of 9 races at the distance. So one of those horses you might really want to wheel in there. And it was our simulation favorite. Number 7, Wait, Don't Tell Me, big pop in its speed figure in its last race. But the good news is, and when you're looking through, this isn't a book by Mark Kramer about cycle trends, another book that's well worth reading. Probably read too much crap, to be honest with you. So I have too many things going on in my head at once. But you see the horse here popped from 69 to 84. In other races, when it's popped, it's kind of tacked onto it a little bit. So keep an eye out for that one. Number 2, Snow Lake, is the next pick for me. I like Snow Lake. Was a tough call over your 1, Boca Royalty, Terry. But this one should be closing. Closers have done all right of late and catching a little bit of a weight break. So maybe enough to make up beats the 1 to the wire by a nose. $20 to win on the 6, and then a $10 double, 6 with the 1, which brings us to race number 7. I think we have enough time to do 7 before race 2, no, Terry?
Yeah, I think so. So the 7 is a mile and 70 yards, claiming $25,000 claiming price, $32,000 purse for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since February 6th, claiming races for $16,000 or less not considered, or which have never won 4 races.
I'm going to go ahead and say that a mile and 70 yards, you're looking for speed, Terry. I guess that's always right. 36% of the time, yes, win the race to the quarter-mile marker. You win the race to the 1 mile, 70-yard marker. I don't know what that extra 70 yards is all about, but hey, inside is better than outside. In race number 7, Terry, who's got the inside speed here?
Well, the very Braille horse does. The very inside horse has 43.7%. So that horse has the most speed and could do pretty well in this race.
Yeah, also has a more than 1 length total pace advantage in there, Terry. Also looks like a pretty nice overlay.
Yeah, it actually has an overlay of let's see, 9 to 5 to 4 to 1. 5 has an overlay from 5 to 2 to 6 to 1.
Yeah, this could be a tough field, though, because everybody's top par. Looks like a lot of them have a good chance to get it here again today, Terry. But if you're going to bet that jockey trainer combo, There's a few to keep an eye on.
Well, the 5 has the best jockey. The 7 has the best. I'm sorry, the 7 has the best jockey, and the 8 has the best trainer. But I think the 7. I think the 8 actually has the best. No, I'm sorry. The 7 has the best jockey trainer combination.
Yeah, we have that who's on first routine going there, right?
Mm-hmm.
The 1 horse, Terry, is a lone E. Everybody else wants to be middle back. We see those horses get to the lead, lone E's. Everybody's looking for them. One concern in here is that low C zone. Oh, it's borderline 50, a little bit away from there. So if you can get the right fractions, the 1 might be able to go all the way. What do you say?
All right. I like the 8. Hoko tried Aqueduct in his last start without success, returns to Parx Racing, where he's finished in the money in 5 out of 7 starts, won 1 of the races, drops in class today, and has a high percentage winning trainer. I like the 3, Dreaming of Jerry. He likes Parx Racing, been in the money 62% of the time, winning 24% of the starts. At today's distance, been in the money 46 or 76% of the time, winning 29% of the starts. Group ticket, the 7 has one win out of 4 starts at Parx Racing, has at today's distance, and has a high percentage winning trainer. Optic Way, the 1, finished in the money 6 races out of the last 7 starts, won 2 of those races, has a high percentage winning trainer. The last pick 4, Miami Vice, Don Johnson, 1, 3, 7, 8 with the 1, 6, with the 5, 7, with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, $48 ticket.
Whole lot going on there. I'm going to go with that 1 horse, Optic Way, lone E on the front, better early pace, better fractions, 1 length, top total pace edge, and 4-1. Why not? It is also a sim fave. Number 3, Dreaming of Jerry. 3rd race after a layoff, class dropper, and the last race was better than it looked. Hoku, the 8 horse, is that biggest class dropper. Trainer Jack Abrams. 2nd start after a layoff. You mentioned Terry ran in the mud over there in Aqueduct. Coming back to Parx. A 30% second up winning angle for Mr. Jack Abrams. And then Prince of Chill, the 4 horse, that one's the longest shot on the board. Terry has the most late speed, top C zone, in the money, 4 out of 5 races at the distance. I'm going to do a pick 4, 1, 3, 8. That 4 is probably going to win, and I'll be mad because it's the one that's next, as always. Then the 1, 6, 3, 4, 7, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9. That's $45. Also a trifecta box, 1, 3, 4, 8, just in case that 4 horse does pull off the upset or find its way in to the money. Race 6, Christopher D'Souza liking the 1 with the 1, 5, and 7. And in race number 7, Christopher D'Souza coming with the 7 horse. Group ticket with the 1 and the 2. Always trying to blow up my picks. Thank you, Christopher. If you haven't done so already, as Terry pointed out a little bit earlier in the show, you see on the scroll down there below, hit the subscribe button to any of our social sites, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, all of the above, Horse Racing Radar TV here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to all those channels because sometimes, we've had a couple of times where YouTube is down or X is down and you missed the show. And if you aren't watching, Terry, you aren't winning, right?
That's correct.
All right, so let's see what race number 2 brings to bear. So they're about to get running. And they're all in the gates in race number 2. And just waiting for the starter to press the button. And Jessica Paquette to start talking in my ear. She was a fun guest when we had her on the Players Edge podcast, too.
She was, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Looks like the 5 horse kind of acting up a little bit, trying to get that guy to settle down. Well, they're waiting forever to let him out of the gate. So the 6 kind of got off to a sluggish start in the race there. You got the 4 horse heading out to the lead along with the 3. 1 is in the mix as well. So the 3 as the one that took the lead. So our second choice to get to the lead. Surprisingly, the 4 horse didn't get there. He stuck 3 wide. That could be a pretty tough trip for the 4 horse out there. And they make their way to the turn. The 3 horse, Liam's Kiss, our top choice, Terry, right now leads the way. The 4 horse has moved into the shotgun position. That is your race favorite right now at 9-5. Big price drop from 8-1 morning line. The 6 horse, Fast Mule, right there as well, Terry. So looking pretty good. The 1 horse at 18-1, Anna Rocks down there on the rail trying to save ground. 24.1 seconds in race number 2 for the quarter mile. 3 and the 4 continue to set the tone. 6 kind of hanging in there. The 1's kind of tailing off a little bit. Looks like the 5 horse wants to get engaged after an opening half of 48.5 seconds. So kind of going a little on the slow side. 5 horses moving pretty well, Terry. He's going to get in there and chase down the 3 and the 4. The question is, does he have enough to get by the 4? The favorite right now at 9-5. Good thing we put all of our picks in there, Terry, because it looks like it's going to be pretty crazy. For both of us, the 5 horse would be the best option because he is 5. He's 5-1, 6-1. I don't know. He can't get that horse to straighten out, though. He's running up the track. If you can get him to switch leads, I think he can run down the 4 horse, but he can't get him to switch leads, so he ain't going to catch that 4 horse. The 4 horse on the front, 4, then 5. I think the 3 will finish 3rd, and then it looks like I don't know who finished in there 4th. Maybe the 7 horse. I couldn't really tell. The 2 horse, maybe Helena Ritz. But the 4 horse is your winner. 8-1, Terry, bet all the way down. Let's take a look at what we saw in our race sheets here. 4 was on the lead, which is what we thought he would be. Did have that early pace advantage in there. And as we talked about, Terry, so many times, we highlighted this when we were going through the race.
Yeah.
He got a good shot to get to the lead. I know he didn't make it into the top total pace horse, but sometimes, nothing is perfect, right?
That's right.
But what we see here, and we talked about it then, great chance to be forward. And by far, the top C-zone was going to be comfortable out there, brought home the top prize. Good thing we both went a little bit deeper on our pick 4s. And again, trifecta right in that mix as well. Race number 8, we're 1 race away, folks. So be a little bit patient for Terry's best bet of the day. But before we get to that, we have to do race number 8.
It's 1 mile. It's a claiming race, $40,000 claiming price, purse $35,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since February 6th. Claiming races for $25,000 or less are not considered, or which have never won 4 races.
Hit the try. There you go, Jonathan. Way to go. Sheets are in description. Thank you. The sheets are absolutely in the description. So maybe some people are unfamiliar with how to get there. So let's just go through that real quick. If you go to YouTube, and right here, you click on today's show. Bang, click on that. And then right here where it says more, you just click on the more. And then right down in here, you see all the different links I talk about. I hear myself. This is crazy. But right in here, if you click on horse racing today, get our SmartSheets there. Bang. That's that. And I got to click out of here because I'm going to lose my mind listening to myself. All right. It's weird because it's like a strange echo. I hear myself and then I hear myself 10 seconds later.
Boy.
Yeah, it's really kind of odd, but I should have just muted that one. So that's how you get that. Soon, JN, we're going to have them available across all tracks everywhere because I have found there's a lot of great information in there. And the more you use them, there's a set of instructions too. I should probably make that available as well so you know how each piece works. I'll put that over at horseracingtoday.net in a little bit. I'll post a link to it, and then you'll be able to find that there. All right, race 8, Terry, 1 mile, right? What's it all about?
Yeah, it's a 1 mile race, and it's actually I went through that already, but
we'll just start over again.
Yeah, it's a mile race, $40,000 claiming price, $35,000 purse for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since February 9th. Claiming races for $25,000 or less not considered, or which have never won 4 races.
I'm curious for folks who have actually gone to the description, have used the sheet. What are your thoughts? I mean, this is an open community. So within this open community, all feedback, be it critical, as long as it's positive, not like, hey, Rich, you're an a-hole or anything like that. But I really feel like if you kind of tweaked it this way, or have you thought about this, I'm always, as well as Terry, open to suggestions and criticisms so that we can make things better, right? That's the whole point of constructive criticism. All right. So at 1 mile, which is 1 complete revolution, it's kind of like 1 year on the, say, it's 1 horse year, right? One revolution around the track.
Yeah.
1 mile on the Ben Salem track, early speed, 38% of the time. I can't think of a 38. Maybe some others can that played football or any other sport. Wait, what was it? Willie Stargell like 38? That might be the best 38 ever that I can probably think of. I could be wrong about that. 1 mile, you do favor early speed, 38 wire to wire. There's a rail penalty, so just call Ray. It's going to have to look a little bit harder today. 2 through 7 has been the best. 8 and out is a very small penalty, not a giant one, so not a deal killer. So maybe the rail is a tough spot to beat, Terry, in race number 8. On the lead is never a bad place to be. Again, we do look like we have one that's got a better chance than the rest to get out.
Yeah, that 4's got the most speed of all the horses in here, and it's not on the rail, so it's going to have a good chance to get the quarter pole first.
Jonathan, sheets are incredible. Always looking over them and finding some value. As always, sometimes the horse sheets, yeah, that's horse racing, right? It just unfortunately sucks. I appreciate the incredible comment because Terry can tell you that there's been a lot of frustration through the years, particularly with Excel, trying to get all this stuff to line up, but by the grace of God, it finally has. So the 4 horse with the top last race speed figure, 4 points better than any other horse in the race. Usually that's a pretty good sign. It is in the top 4 of our top total pace horses in here. But this looks like from a total pace perspective, you only have from here to here about an 8-point difference. So you get bumped, you get blocked, it could make a difference. 3 class droppers, Terry, a race where everybody's come close. So maybe value is the way to go. Which horses offer the most betting value?
Well, actually, as far as the betting value goes, the 1 has a really small overlay, 2-1, 5-2, but the 3 has an overlay from 7-2 to 8-1, and the 5 has an overlay from 6-1 to 8-1.
Yeah, it looks like right here, though, this 6 Eliquis, fantastic chance to get to par again. You see here, the 4 horse, Eagles Cry, the only horse to show better early pace, better fractions, is a class dropper. Maybe a little light on the jockey-trainer combination, but looks like there's a pair in here, Terry, to pick from.
Yeah, the 7 has the best jockey, 8 has the best trainer, but I think the 7 has the best jockey.
I think you mean the 6 and the 1.
I'm sorry. Yeah, the 6 and the 1.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know how I got off there. Anyway, but it appears to me that the 6 has the best combination.
A little bit better than the 1. Our race shape here could favor horses to get forward. The 4 here wants to be on the lead, Terry. He's a closer. We call those left arrow horses. I'll program that into the sheets. And I can tell you too, Jonathan, this is iteration 1. There's iteration 2, iteration 3 that are coming. And I'm sure once I have those done, something else will pop into mind. The horse with the most upside is the 6. Looks like none of these horses are going to be particularly comfortable with the way this race takes shape, Terry. Anyone could win. I thought this was going to be your best bet. We misled everybody at first, but hey, 1 race to go. I think this one might win anyway.
That's true. The 6 is my first choice. He finished 4th in his last race as a favorite, but the trainer wins 31% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to run again. Drops in class today, has a high percentage winning jockey. The 1, Just Call Ray, he has won 2 races out of 3 starts at Parx Racing, winning 2. And then he has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Time to Cruise, the 3 is my third choice. He's won 33% of his starts at Parx Racing. Drops in class today, has the highest speed figure at today's distance. His best third speed is fastest among today's starters. Has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 22% of the races in the second race after claiming a horse. Lots of boxes marked off. Number 4, Eagles Cry, my long shot, ran second versus similar in his last race and can handle the distance.
Well, this is very true. Best constructive criticism, Freud. Your choice, gambling or women. You don't get both unless you're a winner. That's probably pretty true. I think, yes. Which would you rather be better at, Terry? Women or gambling?
Gambling.
Yes, because if you're a good, it was like an old joke. Sorry, ladies.
That's right.
But there's an old joke. A guy wins $1 million in the lottery. His mother asks him, "What are you going to do with your money, son?" He says, "I'm going to go buy a Lamborghini, Mom." And then the mother says to him, "Son, wouldn't you rather buy a house so you always have a place to stay?" And he says, "Mom, if I own a Lamborghini, I will always have a place to stay." Right?
Yep, that's right.
I'm new here. Just subscribe. Gave you a thumbs up. I'm old like you. Thank you for the we're old. Derek and I both love that. The reminders, right? Yes, I'm going to put them up there for sure, Jay. No problem. Race 8. I'll put them on horseracingtoday.net. I'll put a link somewhere so you can find them all the time. That would be great. Race number 8, 3 to win. Time to Cruise. 341 exacta box from our good friend Christopher D'Souza. Again, I'm going to point out that for the first time in about a month today, I put my picks in before Terry, so we know who the plagiarist is today.
Well, like minds think alike, or great minds, think alike.
Yes, indeed. So the point of Terry's point there is whenever we think the same thing, run the hell away.
Yeah, go the other way. Use something else.
Yes, that's probably the most sage advice we've given in 3 years. Eloquist did run the top last race speed figure. Paco and Ness. Yeah, I'm surprised Ness uses Paco. Sometimes, like our good friend Don Johnson points out, Paco gives up. But either of the last 2 races Paco put on this horse probably good enough to win. Just call Ray. That rail's kind of tough, but Sanchez riding helps. Ness, again, this is the simulation favorite. If it weren't for the rail, I probably would have put it first. Time to Cruise. This is our good friend Christopher Souza's top pick. Tough trip in its last race, but still managed a little bit quicker fractions in the second quarter. And then Eagles Cry. It is that left arrow pace setter, better early pace, dropping in class. All right, after much anticipation, Terry, we get to race number 9, which is your best bet. I'll hide it for just one more second. What are the conditions for your best bet?
It's a 7 furlong race. It's an optional claiming race, $50,000 claiming price, a purse of $52,000 for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races other than a maiden claiming starter or state bred, or which have never won 3 races, or a claiming price of $50,000.
So you're going to start all the way back here, have this big long back stretch to run on, make that turn, short stretch drive to get to the winner's circle, Terry. And at 7 furlongs, you're typically looking for a horse, stalker in this case. You don't necessarily want to be on the lead, but you want to be in that co-pilot position, maybe a PC type. Some closers get the job done as well. So, Terry, being in a good position early on, helpful. Which horses will be in the best position?
Well, it looks like the 4 and the 3 might be in the best position to get out of the gate and get up there. So
here we see this combination again. 4, great chance to be forward, both on our projections and on the early pace. 4 is your lone E horse, folks. Look at that. It's also one of the top 2 C-zone horses, the only 2 over 50%, although all of them got a good chance to get a race that fits. Terry, any value in this spot?
Yeah, I take a look at that. 3 is 5-2. 2-1 to 5-1. The 4 is 5-2 to 6-1, and then the 6 is a 9-2 to 6-1. So,
yeah, really not a whole lot of improvement last time out, except for Edge of Town. A little bit faster fractions last time out. Couple moving up in class. 3 that are the same in here. Terry, looks like there's 1 good horse for trainer combination, maybe 2.
Yeah, the 3 has the best jockey, and the 5 appears to have the best trainer. And it looks like to me that the 3 and the 5 both have pretty good combinations for this race.
Yeah, 6 is in that mix there as well. 7 horse, Pachelbel, top last race speed figure, 6 points better than everybody else. Only 5 horses in the field. Again, not a whole lot separating, but if you look at the 3 and the 6, pretty big gap down to the 7. So maybe those 2 are ones to pay attention to. 3 also showing the most top side in the race. All right, Terry, after building all that anticipation for 9 races, drum roll, please. Your best bet of the day in race number 9 is?
The number 7, Pachelbel. She finished in the money in 9 races out of her last 10 starts, won 3 of those races, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Loves to be right there. And then Mary Q, the 5, is my second choice. She's finished in the money at Parx Racing 64% of the time, winning 29% of the starts. She has a high percentage winning trainer, and she has the high percentage winning jockey, Paco Lopez.
And then that Paco right, baby.
Yeah, and then 3 Edge of Town. She won her 3 races out of her last 4 starts. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then I like the 6 as my long shot. She ran second in her last race, winning the previous race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to bet 15 win, 25 to place on the 7, $10 exact of 5 over the 7, and then a $10 exact of the 7 over the 3, 4, 5, and 6.
All right, so there you have it. Terry's best bet of the day in race number 9. Thank you for staying tuned. Hopefully Pachelbel brings home the top prize. I have the 3 horse in here, Edge of Town, as my top choice to battle Terry's best bet. Simulation favorite should be 4, top C zone, top total pace. Those horses tend to be tough to beat. But if not, pat your belt with that top last race speed figure. 6 points better than the rest, cutting back from a mile to 7 furlongs. And if you remember Charles Trent, who's over with Past the Wire, so go support Charles over there. Good guy. He mentioned that one of his favorite betting angles were horses that showed some speed at a mile and then cut back to 7 furlongs. That is indeed the case for Terry's top choice in here for race number 7, his best bet. I have the 4 horse next in my selections. Bella Queen is that horse. We pointed out, like we saw in race number 2, the 4 horse, good chance to be on the lead. High C zone, Lone E. Look out if Bella Queen is the Bella Queen at the quarter-mile marker. And then also has a maintenance workout to keep the saw sharp. And then finally, I'm going to go with Mary Q. Paco Lopez. Horse has definitely faced better, regressed a lot last time out, so we'll definitely need a bounce-back race. Again, in just a few minutes, we'll post all of our picks over at horseracingtoday.net. I'll find a place to put the instructions for the smart sheets, as we're calling them. And then right there, when you're there, hit the HRT gear button. Come on over here. Get yourself a Horse Racing Today gear, our merchandise, 25% off. Of course, free picks today, guaranteed tip sheet. A link in the description on YouTube as well for Fairmont Park. Kindly let them know where you came from by using that link. For the last race today, Terry, we're going to go off to race number 10. Tomorrow, we'll be back for Horseshoe Indianapolis out in Shelbyville. I think it's Shelbyville, Indiana. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's where it is. Before we do all that, let's talk about some horses trying to get their first win.
All right. Yeah, we're going to go to the 10th race here, the last race. And it's a 6 furlong race. It's a maiden race, $50,000 purse. It is for maidens, fillies, and mares 3-year-olds and upward.
So the pick of the day for Christopher D'Souza is the 4 horse, Terry. You have the 7. Uh-oh, there's got to be something going on there. 20 to win on the 4. What's the bet for Chris and Terry for tomorrow? What do you think?
What do I think?
I think if Chris wins, Terry has to say, like, he's got to be like, all hail Chris. And then if Terry wins, Chris has got to put all hail Terry in the comments. Is that a fair bet? I think it's one we can make good.
Yeah, it is. So,
all right. So race number 10, final race for us today. 6 furlongs, maiden, special weight for 50 grand. Wide open race, folks, in here. Stalkers do good 31% of the time. You get the lead. You keep the lead. Inside's better than outside, but 4 through 7 is the worst place to be. A lot of horses, Terry. Limited data in race number 10. But from the data, who's got the best chance to get to – oh, boy, they're going to come out smoking in this one. Too.
They are. It's almost anyone's guess, although the 8 has the best speed.
And there's only one horse so far that's proven it can get to par.
The number 4 horse is the only one that's done it, but the 3, 4, and 6 have pretty high par plus numbers. So
yeah, again, 1,000 simulations, 275 times. The 3 horse, Sweet Distraction, put together a speed figure of 80 or better. Okay, we have a first-time starter in here, which is Ultra Cameo. You have a bunch of red in here, folks. Only one maybe and one yes. This is when you absolutely 1,000% want to consider the first-time starter. You see here, he gets 3 out of 3 stars. That's about as good as it gets, folks. And also has a back bullet work, or the last workout being a bullet. Again, we go back to Barry Meadows in his book, The Skeptical Handicapper, what I call the bullet and go in race number 9. The last workout, you can see 4 furlongs, 47, breezing from the gate. That's pretty quick, the fastest of 45. Those bullet and goes win at 15% or more. I call those alpha angles. And the reason I call them alpha angles is real simple. It's a stock market term, alpha, right? It generates excess return. So the average race in the United States has a little under 8 horses, but we'll go to 8. So 1 out of 8 is 12.5%. Any angle that wins over 12.5%, so I set it at 15, delivers alpha. More return than it should. Keep that in mind when you're looking at first-time starters. All right, Terry, there's not a whole lot else to talk about. The horse with the most upside here is the 4 horse, based upon its past performances. It is the only horse with a yes. Which horse is your pick to win this wide open race?
I like the 4-horse. Finished second in her last race as a favorite. Has a trainer, wins 27% of the races when bringing back a beaten favorite. Has a high percentage winning jockey. Then I like Bail Out Billy, the 8. Ran second in her last race. Has a high percentage winning trainer and switches to a high percentage winning jockey. And then Sweet Distraction, the 3, is my next choice. She has finished in the money in her last 5 races, finishing third versus similar in her last race, and she can handle the distance. Dadu, the 2, is my long shot, finished third versus similar in the last race, and she has a high percentage, highest last speed rating, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. Wins 23% of the maiden special weight races he has a horse running in. No additional bets as I'm out of money.
So who has the highest C-zone in race number 10? Christopher D'Souza asking. So let's go back. I think there's a lot of them here in race number 10 that have some pretty high C-zones. Looks like the 6-horse, almost a 90% chance to get a race that it likes near the front. It looks like he might struggle to get there a little bit, though the pace puts him in that mix as well. The 3-horse does have the biggest late speed advantage, biggest in-race advantage, about 1.25 lengths better than everybody else. Tops out as well as the top total pace horse on Sweet Distraction, which also has the highest chance to go par plus. It is your lone P, a Sesame Street horse. Does have a pretty high C-zone as well. So that 3-horse could be dangerous, according to the SmartSheets. I'm going to go with that 9-horse. Oh, by the way, Christopher Souza accepts the challenge, Terry.
Okay.
I'm not worthy, or all hail, whichever way we go. I'm going to go with that first-time starter, Terry. 3 out of 3, check mark. Does have that back bullet. That bullet and go. Why not? I'm going to get a good price at 8-1. Keep an eye on the board, folks. If that goes to like 20-1, maybe I'm wrong. But if he comes down to like 4-1, 3-1, folks at the track are going to like that guy. Next up for me is the 4-horse, Olivia Mavis. Next on my board right there. That's the only yes horse, the only horse so far that's hit par. We know it can hit the speed figure necessary to win. And it's also been pretty close at the distance, 7 times out, and has 5 seconds in the third. So really close to finding the winner's circle and graduating already. The 3-horse, Sweet Distraction, simulation favorite. It is the biggest in-race edge with that 6-point late speed and 6-point total pace advantage. And then I'm going to close it out with Luani Su, that 6-horse. We did look in there at Christopher D'Souza's request. That is our top C-zone horse in there. And this is a track dropper, too. So what I mean by track dropper is that horses that come in from higher tracks. So Oaklawn Park running $100,000 maiden claiming races. Fittery runs this race right here. The 6-horse could be your winner. Another horse to keep an eye out on, aside from the fact that Peach is my chubby blonde girlfriend's name. It's my Labrador, folks. But this horse is only making its second career start, so it has the most upside potential in the race. Normally, if a horse has second race par ability, it would show up in here. It didn't, but that doesn't mean it can't pop in today's start. I'm going to do a trifecta for 50 cents. I think it's $22.50 total. 349 over to 3469 over to 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9 to close out my betting. Here are our full picks for the day. In race number 1, I think the 8-horse won easily. Is that right, Terry?
Yeah, I think so.
In race number 2, the 4-horse won. So it looks like to play the 3 and 4, the 3rd and 4th picks for the day. Here's the way we see the rest of this day. Looking at our bets, race number 3, no bets. Race number 4, the second pick 4. Race 5, I have 15 to win on the 4. Race 6, I have $20 to win on the 6-1. So maybe do a 4, 6-1 small, pick 3 in there. Trifecta box 1, 3, 4, 8. No picks in race number 8. Terry's best bet, race number 9 on that 7-horse. And then a big fat trifecta to end it in race number 10. Again, tomorrow we'll be back for Horseshoe Indianapolis. Terry, make sure you don't miss the Horseshoe Indianapolis show by doing what?
Subscribing to our YouTube channel, which is easy to do, doesn't cost anything. Hit the bell. That bell, by hitting that bell, that you'll be notified about when the next program comes up, and then go down and copy that link, share it with everybody you know, so they can come and check us out. Go to our social sites that are scanning down at the bottom here at Horse Race, the number 2 day. Give us a thumbs up and a like. and then keep the comments and picks coming as you're doing right now. And I should say that I believe Christopher beat me last time too. I think his best bet beat mine, and he paid pretty well too. It paid like 13 something, so that was pretty nice.
Yeah, Chris likes to just, like I said, take the grenade and go, okay, Terry and Rich, boom, there goes your picks. Free picks at Fairmount Park today. Link in the description on YouTube again. There's a link to the show SmartSheets in the YouTube description. I will find a place to put our SmartSheets explanations today. In a little bit, I will put them here for sure. I'll load them up on here as well. So you go to horseracingtoday.net. I'll include a link. That'll be probably the best place to put it. So on the homepage, and you go to horseracingtoday.net, you'll see right in the middle of the screen, it'll say today's Parx Racing picks. So I'll include that in there. Hit the HRT gear, save 25% off the merchandise, support the show. We greatly appreciate it. I'm wasting a little bit of time because race number 3 is off and it is running. So let's talk about what's going on in race number 3. So in race number 3, Terry, the 5-horse has gotten to the lead. Wrong button, of course. Too many buttons. Race number 3, the 5-horse is on the lead. In race number 3, we had the 5-horse in the mix as well, so he was in there third. The 4-horse, he's coming up along the edge there too. We Ready looks like he's ready to run a good race in there. The 1-horse in there, Nifty, he's in the mix as well. But it does look like this 4-horse is going to be a dangerous one in here, Terry, at 13-1. He has gotten to the better of the 5-horse. Jockey still hasn't asked him to run yet. So we'll see. He's kind of drifting up the track a little bit. But it looks to me like no one's really making up ground on him. Maybe the 2-horse is coming in there. Wizard Surratt, 5-horse is trying to come back. Hot Spot on the rail. Hot Spot, the maybe horse in there, does actually find its way to the winner's circle. So 5, 4, 2, and 1. 5, 4, 2, and 1. And I think that officially kills my race 3. Neither one of us had the 5. It's the one we left off. Hot Spot.
No.
So what's happened?
I think, the 5 came back. The 4 passed the 5. The 5 came back, I see.
Yes, Christopher D'Souza, indeed. Cookie Monster. I subscribe. Thanks, guys. Sorry for calling you old. No, that's okay, JN. We're old. We wear that badge.
Yeah, we know.
with honor, for sure. We're well aware. Like anytime I move, something hurts. So it reminds me every day. I don't need if there are reminders from people. It's only a reminder my own body gives me. So let's look at that 5-horse real quick, Terry, and then we'll roll.
Okay.
The 5-horse did have, again, here you see the better early fractions. You see the better early, better pace, better early fractions in there. It was, when you look at the race, only a point or two off the 4 or the 3 for the top total pace in there. So a lot of reasons why that 5 could get in there. Again, everybody was a closer, so you didn't really know what you were going to get in that race there, Terry. It was the lowest on the scale, so probably why both of us kind of shied away from that horse. But as was pointed out, it's horse racing, and sometimes a horse will beat you. It was, according to our simulation odds, the longest shot on the board. And again, Stephen Fielder says in the 5-horse races, what do you play?
The longest shot on the board.
The longest shot on the board. Well, it wasn't in that case. The 4-horse was. All right, folks, that wraps it up for today. Again, Terry and I will be back tomorrow for Horseshoe Indianapolis. Belmont at the Big A for Thursday. Not quite sure what 4 and Fridays will be all about, but it'll be about something. We'll let you know as soon as I know, when Tom lets me know. Until we get together again, we certainly hope your day, your endeavors are filled with God's grace, God's favor, and all of your goals and aspirations end up in
winner's circle.
Yes, we'll see you for Hollywood Hay Wednesday at Horseshoe Indianapolis.